one out loud.
Okay. Biologists have noted reproductive abnormalities in fish that are immediately downstream of paper mills. One possible cause is dioxin, which paper mills release daily and which can alter the concentration of hormones in fish.
So go ahead and
However,
here. What is happening so far?
so they're talking about like paper mills and how, so I always do like my hand movements,
No, you're good.
how they release like, I guess like toxins, and then there's fish that are like down, I guess like the dioxins go downstream and they're affecting the hormones of the fish. That's
Yeah. Okay. So how I would rephrase this is just like, okay, so biologists have saw that we see these fish downstream that have like these reproductive abnormal, these weird things going on. And we think one possible cause for these weird things is whatever D is, right? Dioxin.
Mhm.
Saying that the paper mills release it daily and it alters so we think it possibly could alter the hormones in the fish. I'm like, all right, I guess altering the hormones of the fish with D is causing these weird things to go on. Cool.
Right.
Right. Continue.
Okay. However, dioxin is unlikely to be the cause since the fish recover normal hormone concentrations relatively quickly during occasional mill shutdowns, and dioxin decomposes very slowly in the environment.
All right. So now what's happening?
So the author is saying that it's pretty much saying that actually it's not D, because they recover fast because they go back to normal pretty fast when the paper mills aren't operating, and that it decomposes slowly.
Yeah. Okay. So they're saying that whenever the fish recover normal hormone concentration, oh yes, they go back to their normal hormone levels quickly whenever the mills are shut down, and then the D decomposes, it goes really slow into the environment, I guess. So what is our conclusion here?
That the dioxin is unlikely to be the cause.
Excellent. And then what kind of question is this?
A weakening?
Yes. So do we tend to want a stronger or more mild answer?
Stronger.
Stronger, yeah, because we want to destroy that argument. So essentially, what are we trying to say? If we're not trying to say dioxin is unlikely, what should our answer choice be trying to show?
I guess, okay, something that says that it is pretty like likely that it is the cause.
Yeah, so we want to, and so right now, what is the flaw in our argument?
So I would say that, well, what the author is saying, that like just because they recover quickly, he's assuming that it's not the cause of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a correlation cause, isn't it?
Yes.
One way that we can get an answer choice, which is kind of like turns into a strengthening question if we say D is likely to be the cause, is really strengthen the idea that it's not correlation, and like we're eliminating something else here. But
yeah.
So
I'm sorry, my dog was just running it. I didn't hear the last part you said.
That we can really hone in and show like, hey, this is not a correlation flaw, and we're strengthening the idea that this thing is really the only thing that is what's being different about this.
I'm so sorry. Can you give me a second? I'm gonna put my dog away because she's like throwing her toys around and I can't hear you.
So we have, so we're trying to say D is likely to be the cause. Our reasoning for why it's unlikely is because the normal hormone concentrations go back to normal and D decomposes very slowly. Can we think of any reason that we can predict of why D would be likely to be the cause?
Okay, so why D would be the cause? So as in like a way to weaken what the author's saying, or just in general?
Where D is likely, just bring in something new. Like what if we could say this, that it would be more likely that D really is the cause?
If it's the only like I guess like hormone changing thing going down the stream is what I like, something I would say.
Yeah. Another thing that I was thinking was yeah, if it's the only thing that's changing the hormones in the fish, maybe also like how long do the fish hormone levels have to change to cause an abnormality? Maybe that would strengthen it. because then it wouldn't matter that they go back quickly because the damage is already done.
Right.
All right, so go ahead and start with A and tell me if you like it, leave it, or hate it.
Okay. Some of the studies that show that fish recover quickly during shutdowns were funded by paper manufacturers. I would take it out because we don't care who funds. Like the funding part for me at least would be like, who cares?
What does some mean?
Some is less than, well, I do like the less than like 50% or whatever.
Okay, so I just say at least one. So some is
At
so
least one.
very mild.
Okay.
So yeah, very weak answer.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then B says the rate at which dioxin decomposes varies depending on the condition to which it is exposed. I feel like that I took that one out too because I feel like the rate that it decomposes doesn't matter because they're talking about like whether or not dioxin is the cause, not like.
I mean, it does say that our D decomposes very slowly in the environment, but just because it varies, we don't like this could be varying by like 0.01% or like 30%. We have no idea. So it's just not a very relative answer.
Right. Okay.
All right. What about C?
C says normal river currents carry the dioxin present in the river far downstream in a few hours. Okay, so this answer, I've done this question before and I've gotten it wrong each time. And I didn't pick this one. Because when I was thinking, so when I was reading this, I was like, okay, so the author's saying actually it's not dioxin because they recover. So in my head, I was just like, okay, well, let me think of something that would prove that it could be dioxin. So then I looked at D because I was like, oh, like their physiological changes that they did not recover from. So that's why I picked D, but I could not understand why C was right.
Okay, so let's skip over C for a second and go to D.
Mhm.
What? Okay, so did you say you picked D or E? I'm sorry.
I picked D.
As in dog. Okay.
Yes.
It says some. So at least one of the fish. So I don't like how mild this answer is for starters. At least one of the fish did not recover rapidly from the physiological changes. Okay, yes. This one is just wrong because we don't care about one fish. That doesn't prove anything that D caused it.
Right.
So I would have crossed D off just for that reason.
Okay. Some of the fish. Okay, so because we don't care about what you said, one fish?
One fish, like it's so mild. Like just because one fish didn't recover, does that mean that D is the cause?
Right. No.
Right. Yeah, because like it could have been many things for that one fish. That one fish could have just been odd.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Okay, and then E says the connection between hormone concentrations and reproductive is not thoroughly understood. That is irrelevant. It's like that doesn't strengthen or weaken our answer. So
Right.
one, I would have gotten to the correct answer just by process of elimination, but C is correct here because it's saying that we can get this far downstream in a few hours. Even though it decomposes very slowly into the environment, what this is just saying is that the fish that are immediately downstream are the ones that have the abnormalities. And so if it gets there quickly, I think it's just trying to say that since the fish recover normal hormone during occasional mill shutdowns. Present in the river far downstream in a few hours. Okay, I think that this is correct. I agree. This is kind of a weird question or a weird answer since the fish recover normal. In the river far downstream in a few hours. It has to do with the abnormalities being immediately downstream. And we're saying that the current actually carries the D present to that area. Like it doesn't just stop in one area, because it's telling us that the D decomposes very, really slowly. And so this is saying that wherever it decomposes, like this actually takes it there, which I don't love that answer at all.
Yeah, when I